Hello, all. My name is Shanice Green. I am doing a arts review. I went to go see a recent performance. I actually thought it was going to be a stand-up comedy show, but in fact, it was not. It was actually a full performance. It was mostly freestyle, and it was actually quite entertaining. What I enjoyed was it was three performers, and it was a lot of interaction within the audience. They use a lot of colors, they use a lot of big sounds, a lot of lighting. When they were trying to make different points, sometimes they would turn on all the lights in the building. Other times, while this performance was going on, they would shut them all off, and all you would see was one light to emphasize their point. They used a lot of singing. There was a ton of singing. They improvised. They included the audience members, different articles of clothing, their names. One of my favorite parts of the performance was when one of the artists actually came up to the balcony. I personally like when I go to see performances is watching it from the one of the better balcony seats because you can actually see the entire stage and all the details, and you normally don't miss anything. Sometimes when you sit at the lower level and you're at face level, sometimes you can miss some of the details, but when you sit up high and you're looking down on it, you don't miss anything, and it's kind of great because you get to see the full stage. And they took the time to not only make us laugh, but also make different points and use their platform to also recognize some of the major issues going on within society. They were also uplifting the community while also bringing forth social issues and making us laugh, and while also trying to get everybody to band together and come over some of the problems that we have had within a community. It really touched me because a lot of times now we forget to personalize things and bring things back home. And a lot of times people use comedy and laughter to touch on some of the things that are going on within their lives and some of their dark places. So, to see three people coming together and overcoming their own personal challenges was quite amazing to see. And I would love for them to come back and maybe incorporate some of this with some of the younger kids, because there's a lot of people out here now that are suffering from depression and acceptance and, accepting themselves for who they are. And, school's changing, and, the outcasts and the look on life. Yes, we are a very accepting generation, but there's also a lot of times where social media plays a part. And a lot of times people forget to step away from social media and just be humans and interact and remember that we're all people that are here doing different things for each other. So to take that portion of things and bring it back, it brings a huge value. And sometimes when you're going to some of these communities that are lower income and you're reaching out to these communities, it's nice to send a message of positivity, because sometimes a lot of people are coming in from situations. So it's nice to be able to come out and laugh at some of the hardest points of some people's lives. So that's something that going further in the future, I would love to support and bring more, bringing a local art community or a local theater into these lower income communities and give these same kids who see so much violence and death and crime in their communities and give them a platform to express themselves positively. Some of the most talented people and singers and artists and basketball players live within these communities. So the fact that they are being overlooked sometimes or don't have the proper platform to express themselves is very devastating. So to think that there be no added value or there won't be an appreciation is quite the opposite. You may think of rappers as some people that are not artists, but they are artists. They're people that are expressing themselves on their platform that they think is the most positive way to do it. So whether you agree with comedy or mixing comedy and skit and theater all in one, whether you don't believe that's your platform, that's a platform that reaches out to different people. And sometimes you need to step into somebody's shoes and understand where they're coming from in order to give back a positive feedback. And sometimes, like I said, taking laughter and being able to laugh at such a tough situation is exactly what is needed at that moment. Sometimes you don't need to be the coolest person on the block. Sometimes you need to just be the realest person, or somebody they can relate to. And having somebody that's already within their community that's doing it and showing them that it's okay and it's cool and it's positive, and that's a way to express themselves rather than being out in the street, is a positive way. I don't care whether you decide you want to draw, if you want to go spray paint, if you want to play basketball, whatever it is that your avenue is going to be, but you need to have that avenue and use it properly.